Okay. Hey, welcome to the Eric J the Great podcast.
Thank you.
I got a special guest on the show today. Uh, music artist, Summertime Bad. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Eric J?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Just taking it day by day. Before we get into the interview, I'm gonna play one of your songs just in case some people ain't never heard your music before. So I'm gonna play it for like a minute or so, and then I start getting into the questions.
Sounds good. Hit it.
Yeah, I actually like this whole video thing that you had on this.
You like the theme? Well, I had a real fur on in it and they didn't want me to wear it. And I said, I'm just going to do me and be myself. They're like, don't wear it. Don't wear it. And I'm like, who cares? I'm authentic.
Make a couple dollars coming ground with me. I'm trying to take it across the world, and that's fine with you. Can't post no pictures, baby girl, that's what we not gonna do. Baby girl, you just different, you turn me up when I'm around you. These bitches be hating cause they don't know what we into. I'm so wild for you, so bust it down for me. Wrist watch on face, call me 350. When you on my way, all the months with you. I do anything you want, I got a thing for you. But look, I'll be a sneak link. We on them freak links. Pick me up and drop me off.
Now that's a quick link. I like a slow ride. Don't make me go live. Tell your girl it's open now. We on the south side. I'm in that Rolls truck. They got big pay. I do what I want because I'm that bitch. Hey, you got my vibe, boy. So don't lose me. Play your cards right. Big bad is choosy.
You hide from me. You my sneaky link, baby. Come and vibe with me. It don't matter if I'm with us, to make time for me. Come and make.
Yeah, that's a nice vibe right there.
That's Sneaky Link. That's my song, Sneaky Link.
Yeah, that's something I could ride into the car right there, just coast right there.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it. That was my little R&B vibe.
Oh yeah. So first off, tell the people where you from and how old are you?
All right, I'm 27 years young and I am from Youngstown, Ohio. So we call it the Yo. So if you're from Youngstown, you say I'm from the Yo.
Oh, why they call it the Yo?
Youngstown, it's like the first two letters in Youngstown, the Yo.
Oh, okay.
And it's an hour away from Pittsburgh, one direction, an hour away from Cleveland, the other direction.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's so easy because I'm right between the two to network. And you wouldn't believe it, but Pittsburgh's great for music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of like in the center of like, the north and that east coast, you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of surrounding cities that's not too far.
Yep.
Yeah. So like when you hear your city, when someone say your city, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Youngstown.
Okay.
Like you mean like where I'm from, like, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like if somebody say, your city, like, what's the first thing you think about?
The first thing I think of Youngstown is we have really good pizza.
Oh, okay. Y'all known for pizza?
We're known for pizza, and we're also called Little Detroit because we used to have like a large mob presence.
Oh, okay. So how's the culture there like? Is it like kind of like half and half, like kind of hood and like suburbs, or how is it?
There's some suburbs, but Youngstown is like on like the top 10 of the most impoverished cities in the United States list. That's why I really like to say I'm from there, because Omarosa's from there too.
Oh, okay.
And she's a big success story. So, there's so many rappers and artists that came out of Cleveland. There's so many of them that came out of Pittsburgh, but nobody's ever really made it big from Youngstown. Like, they're Youngstown famous. So I kind of made it a point to get Youngstown on the map. And then I kind of like took the whole scene because I'm like the only one who's networking and doing it. Because my theory is hard work begets talent. Like, there's a lot of rappers that are better than me, but they can't network. Like, they won't go out, leave the city. I mean, I'm all over the place, so, and that, hard work begets talent every time.
Yeah, because relation, you can have talent, but it ain't like back in the day where like early 2000s where you know, a person can be talented and they could just rap to somebody and they be like, oh, I'm gonna believe in you and I'm gonna just invest all this money into you. Now it's like you can have a person that's like a way better artist, and you can have a person that's not a bad artist, just a good artist. And just because of the relationships they have, they'll go farther, you know, because relationships is everything.
And you got to think like back in like the early 2000s and before that, A&R people would come to little cities and scout out local clubs and talent. They're not looking for you anymore. You have to look for them. They're not looking for talent anymore. You have to look for them. You have to seek them out. They're not coming to your little city. You need to go to where they're based and put yourself in the room with them in front of their people. So that's a big reason too. You have to like make yourself get discovered if you're not from like LA or New York.
And a lot of artists too, like on top of that, before we go into the next question, like on top of that, like people gotta really understand, like not just pulling up on people and putting yourself out there, but you gotta be willing to invest in yourself too. A lot of people don't want to spend their own money, and that hold a lot of people back too.
The advice that, when I tell people I'm a rapper, the first thing they say to me is, oh, you better watch out being a woman. You know, people could try to cut you raw deals and all this. Well, I deal with rap a lot and they've always been good to me. But regardless of that, the women who get like in bad situations, it's because like they didn't have the money to fund their studio time, their outfits, anything. So they were like doing things to get free studio time and stuff, getting into crooked things. Like, so I advise women, if you can't afford to do this all on your own before you're signed or have a label backing you, go back to work, quit this right now, go get a 9 to 5, stack up a bunch of money, then come back. Because you don't ever want to be indebted to anybody in this industry. If you can't do it yourself, you can't do it, period. I fund all my travel myself because at the end of the day, I want to have the power to get out of a situation if I go to an event and I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to have been stuck or indebted to somebody else. So that's always my biggest advice to women is if you can't afford to do this, don't do it. Go get a 9 to 5 until you can come back, and because they're going to respect you more, and they're going to respect you more, and it's a whole lot safer.
Right. You always, in any situation, you always want to go into it with a little leverage.
Exactly. The leverage. That's the key word. Day one in the music industry, they told me I needed to build leverage. So that was the key word. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But people don't understand that.
Right. So as far as growing up, when you was younger, when you was a child, like how was it growing up in your city? Like, what were some of the obstacles you had growing up, circumstances, things like that?
Well, the obstacles were like growing up in this traps, literal trap. There's literal trap houses out here, but like it's like a trap. Like if you're different than like the mold, you're looked at as like an outcast. Like it was like graduate high school, get married, but get a ranch style house, make minimum wage, and have a bunch of kids, and have by age 22. So if you're not doing that, they look at you like there's something wrong with you. So me, I didn't do that. I went back to back. I got a bachelor's, I got a master's, I got another master's. I did some TV shows. I did some modeling. I started a law firm. Now I'm a rapper. So like, you know what I'm saying? So people look at you. It's kind of like a hater city. Like I say, Ohio's a rough crowd. Like you can be very talented in Ohio and they're not going to they're kind of like, they want to see you doing good, but not better than them.
Right.
So it's kind of, if you're different, you stand out, and it's not in a good way in Ohio. It's in like you're going to have a lot of haters. So I experienced a lot of hate, a lot of, why don't you just get a job in one of the degrees you got? Why don't you just, why do you want to do this, that, and the third? Why do you want to be on TV? Why can't you just be normal like the rest of us? And to that, I say, you all can do what I do. You could do exactly what I'm doing. There's no, who woke up and said that none of you could be a rapper? You could do whatever you want. So if this is what I choose to do, that's your problem if you don't think you can do it, but don't hate on me because I do it. So it's a very impoverished area, and people, they get really mad if they see you doing really good. And that's sad, but that's just that's just facts. That's what it is around here.
Right, because in most cities like that, that's similar to that. It's a crab and a bucket mentality. And like, when people think like that, it's just like, you would get farther if everybody support each other, like if it was kind of similar to like Atlanta. I mean, I know Atlanta probably got some haters in their city too, but for the most part, when people start getting buzz and they get a little footprint in the industry, everybody's doing music together. Everybody ain't got no beef or hiding behind no corner talking about this person not and don't want to do music with this person, even though they don't even really have a problem with this person. They just being petty and just want to be hateful towards that person. It's crazy how people act sometimes.
But in areas, you have to think about it this way, in areas where there's money to be made, people are a whole lot friendlier. So Atlanta, yes, there's impoverished areas, but for the most part, there's a lot of money to be made there. Houston, Miami, cities like that. So yeah, you have bad areas or you have impoverished areas, but you also have people making a lot of money there. In Youngstown, there's nobody making a lot of money there. You got to go to Pittsburgh or Cleveland to get the good jobs, So when you're in an area, and then in Atlanta and Houston, they see and hear rappers every day. In Youngstown, you're weird because you want to be a rapper because there's not a lot of rappers there, so it's all about like in a bigger city where there's a mixture of like high income, low income, in the middle, you're going to be a lot more accepted than in a city where it's 100% impoverished and there's like nobody in this industry in Youngstown. They're not going to understand. They're going to go, why does she want to be a rapper? She needs to go work at Walmart like the rest of us. Atlanta, they see people like doing big things. They're used to it, so they're more supportive.
And like, like I'll say anything, like, you got the rest of your life to get by if that was it, what it comes to, you know what I'm saying? But everybody deserve a shot to try something that they love, like, cause if you try something you love and it don't work out, you know what I'm saying, the percentages don't work out, then you can go to sleep at night and be like, well, at least I tried, like instead of it having that 10 years down the line, be like, dang, I should have did this,
Mm-hmm.
that's the worst feeling in the world.
That's funny that you brought that up because I forgot all about this, but when I shot my first music video, it was for my song Private Jet. I was freshly in the industry. This was in like September, and I just started in September, and I was like, oh my God, this is costing so much money. Maybe I'm making a big mistake. I'm using, my savings to fund this. Maybe I need to just quit now. And my friend, she's in her like late 40s. She goes, no. She goes, if I could do it, you can always make money. You have the rest of your life to make money. Money comes and goes. You need to do this right now while you're young. If you don't do it while you have the money to do it, you're going to regret it.
Right.
And I think that's what happens with people in my hometown. If they get a little bit of money, they want to keep it. They're scared to spend it, even if it's to like enhance their career or chase their dreams.
Yeah, like I tell people all the time. I told somebody on Facebook the other day, I was like, if you're not willing to go broke investing in yourself, then you don't really believe in yourself.
Yep.
Or you gotta be willing to spend it all. If you know that you got the talent and you know that you're gonna put the work in to get where you're trying to go,
And you can always make more. You can always make more money.
Right.
But you might not ever have an opportunity to go to certain events ever again. And if you miss those opportunities,
it's over with.
Miss those opportunities. So
yeah. So as far as your household growing up, did you have a 2-parent household? Any siblings?
I have a lot of siblings, but I did not have a 2-parent household. My parents divorced when I was really young, and my mom has another daughter, and my dad has 3 other kids. So I was raised in a single parent household, and we didn't have that much money. I had some rich relatives, but in my area, if people who have money, they won't spend $1 on anybody else. They won't help you out. So it didn't even matter having any rich relatives because it's not like they'll help you. So I kind of did it all myself. I was kind of the odd man out because my parents, I was like a latchkey kid. Do you remember that term?
Yeah.
So like if your parents are never home, when you get home from school, you like you have your own house key and you let yourself in and you make yourself your own dinner and you just take care of yourself. So that was kind of me. So I remember a lot of other kids, like their parents wouldn't let them play with me because they like saw I was like home alone all the time. And like in my neighborhood, the parents needed to know your parents in order to let their kid play with you and hang out with you. And my parents were never around really. I kind of raised myself. So I didn't really have many friends. In high school, I ate lunch alone in the library because I didn't have anybody to sit with in the cafeteria. So like, and it's crazy because now all these people that like were mean to me in school, like they act like they know summertime bad and they want to like DM me and have me like, shout them out and get free stuff. And I'm like, no, I was like, that's crazy. So, I mean, that's the best revenge against anybody, an ex-boyfriend, friends, bad family members, is success. And if you lose, this is the way I live my life. It took a while to get this way. If I lose a business deal, I'll get another. If I lose a man, I'll get another. If I lose a friend, I'll get another. Don't trip. Don't sweat it. You got to manifest and think positively. If you don't, you are never going to get ahead.
Right. I got the similar values. I'm the same way. As far as like activities when you was younger, what some of the things you did as a kid? Did you play any sports? You was into musicals, anything like that? Like what did you do?
I would have liked to pursue sports, but we didn't really have the money. You had to like pay to play, and like we didn't have that money. And like I didn't have parents who could take me to practice. They were working. How are they going to take me to practices for sports? So, but I did do show choir. It's like where you dance and sing, because that, it was free. It was like a period out of high school. Like it was like a class you took almost. So you didn't have to pay extra money for that. And you did it, you practiced while you were at school. So it was a lot easier. So that's really the only thing I did. I didn't do any other sports. Like I said, I wasn't allowed because we didn't have the money and I didn't have a way there. So I had my childhood compared to now is like night and day. Like I was a very lonely child, and now I have like people like I never have free time. It's very stressful. Be careful what you wish for is all I'm gonna say.
Right. So like as far as like your family members, did you have anybody in your family that was involved in the music business?
No, I have family members that are involved in sports, professional sports. Like my cousin was the late, great Bruno Sammartino. He was the living legend of WWE. He sold out Madison Square Gardens numerous times. He just passed away a few years ago. And then I had some other cousins. I think one of them's a comedian. And then I have some ones that were in like the NFL and stuff. But nobody in the music. I wasn't supposed to be a rapper. I was like, that wasn't anything I was ever gonna be. Like this really happened overnight. I just wanted to be famous. So any way I could get famous, that's why. Nobody will tell you that. People are gonna get on and be like, oh, I wanted to be a singer my whole life, when really they're like, no, I just wanted to be famous, and if this is the way to do it, so I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The truth is, I did acting, modeling, brand modeling, rapping, because I figured whatever avenue sticks and gets me to be famous and pays me, that's the one I'm just going to stick with.
Right.
So rapping seemed to be hit the nail on the head for me, even though I still do act, but, and I model, but that seems to be the one. And now now I like it. Like I enjoy it. It's fun. I write all my own music. I don't have a ghostwriter. I fund everything myself. I network myself. In between managers right now. I've fired like 3 managers so far, because nobody's going to work as hard for you as yourself. So a lot of people don't have a good work ethic. So, you know, you just have to be, like you said, the word leverage. Now I have leverage. So now I have people approaching me that want to be my manager. Before, when I started, I had to like beg people to want to work with me, you know? Now I don't, like, you really have to build leverage and make a name for yourself and call yourself something so much that other people are going to refer to you as that, you know?
Right. So what would you say led you to doing music?
A chance encounter with one of the CEOs of Rap-A-Lot Records West. So to make a long story short, I was coming off a show in LA. I filmed an episode of You Bet Your Life with Jay Leno in September. And I posted something funny on Instagram. And one of my followers messaged me back and they commented on it. And they were like, we saw you were in LA. Do you do music? And I said, well, I've written some music, and I did. I wrote Private Jet. I wrote that during the pandemic, but I didn't think I was going to do anything of it, like with it. And they were like, what do you do? I was like, well, I act, but I did write the song. They're like, well, why don't you go in a studio, any studio, and like, you know, record it and send it over. And I was like, well, why? What do you do? They're like, we're with Rap-A-Lot Records, like Drake, Jay Prince. And I didn't know what Rap-A-Lot was. They could have been, you know, bullshitting with me. So then I looked it up and I went, oh. And then I looked up who the person was who messaged me. I went, oh, okay, this is really legit. So I sent him the song. I recorded Private Jet. He goes, all right, it's banging. Go record 4 more and put out an EP. So I was like, oh my God, what? So I recorded 4 more and put out an EP. And then a week later, Rap-A-Lot called me and they asked me if I wanted to open for Drake and Kanye at the Larry Hoover show in December in LA. But due to Astroworld, they didn't have anybody opening. So they still wanted me to come as their guest and meet everybody and network with everybody. So I went as Rap-A-Lot's guest. And it was so wild because a week before I wasn't anything. And then they had me in the secret entrances saying, we're bringing the artist in, we're bringing the artist in. And I was the artist. And I was like, I mean, Drake's dad was walking down the hallway right behind, like he was standing right behind me. I got like a little selfie. You could see him. He had an all red suit on. It was like the wildest thing. And like, but it really motivated me because I was like, okay, this is what it looks like on the other side. This is so attainable. I'm here, aren't I? So I just went around and said, I'm Summertime Bad so many times till I was blue in the face that everybody knew who Summertime Bad was at the end of the night. You know?
Right.
So that's how I was discovered. I wasn't supposed to be a rapper. They kind of poached me and coaxed me into being a rapper. So, you know, they got what they wanted now, I guess, because they're stuck with me.
Yeah, sometimes stuff finds you. Like, you know, sometimes, you know, some of the best people in certain fields didn't go looking for it. Like it was just something that just came to them, and then they just put the work in and they took off.
It was fate, you know, because like, and I don't want people to think that like every deal is a good deal, because I got lucky. Like it was meant to be, it was fate, because some people can message you and say they're from a certain record label and they're lying and they're gonna, like, you know, it's a bad situation they're trying to get you in. Like this was all legitimate. I did my research before I went out there, and I get deals every day. And I know now that I'm kind of a little seasoned a little bit in the industry and understand a little bit more, I realize not every deal is a good deal, and some of it they see that you have a lot more to offer than they do, so they're trying to cut you these deals. So I've learned, like with brand deals, people want to do marketing deals with me. Like I know what to say yes and no to now a lot better than I did when I started, you know?
Yeah, and that comes with the process. You know, everybody has growing pains no matter what you're doing. So you just have to, you get better with time, you know. So like as far as who was some of your favorite artists growing up?
This is easy, Mac Miller.
Oh yeah, I love Mac Miller. I got a picture of him in the crib.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. After this, you'll have to show it to me. Actually, he's my everything. He's my inspiration. I was supposed to meet him before he passed, and I wouldn't do this ever. You know, I think that's why I'm very successful in Pittsburgh, because people that rock with him, they rock with me, and he was very influential to me because, all right, so coming from Youngstown, there wasn't any success stories I could see out of Youngstown. So Cleveland, they had MGK, they had Kid Cudi, and Pittsburgh had Wiz and Mac, right? So, but Mac was closer to my age than Wiz was. So when I was in high school, Mac was like 2-3 years older than me. And I was like, oh my God, like, so it was seeing someone close to my age who was as local as it gets to me, an hour away, be so successful. It was like the wildest thing for me, you know, because it was real. And being there, every time I go to Pittsburgh, I say, Mac, please help me connect with your people. Please help me get good deals. Please protect me in your city. And people just flock to me in Pittsburgh. I do really well in Pittsburgh. Taylor Gang is nothing but good to me. I love Taylor Gang. Shout out to Fed the God and Will and Pittsburgh Ty. They've all been nothing but nice to me. More so than my own area. So, you never know, but I love Kanye. I love Drake. I love Sade. My favorite female rapper is Cash Doll. She actually put me on her story last weekend, and I was so flattered. And then I love Keith Sweat.
Oh yeah, that's a classic, right?
I'm a big Keith Sweat fan.
Yeah.
Twisted's my favorite song ever in life. Out of any song is Twisted.
Yeah,
that's my favorite song.
Yeah, Twisted's dope. I like the video.
Oh, I like the video version. Like he sings other parts in the video version that he doesn't sing in the song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cut Close, who's in the video, and they sing with Keith Sweat a lot. They're coming back. They're gonna do another album. I was just talking to them the other day.
Yeah, they should. You know,
they're coming back. Yeah, they're working on another album right now.
Yeah, Keith Sweat. Yeah, he's a legend. So like, where did you get your rap name from, and when was your first time going to the studio? Like around what age, what time frame?
My first time going to the studio was this year. So it was like September of 2021. It's like 6 months ago. I'd never been to a studio before that. I didn't know what to expect. My rap name actually comes from a J. Cole song. So, you know the song In the Morning by J. Cole and Drake?
Yeah, that's classic.
So the song starts out and J. Cole goes, baby, you summertime fine. And the first time I heard that song years ago, I said, if that was my song, I wouldn't have said that. I would have said, baby, you summertime bad. And then that always stuck in my head. And so when it came time to have a rap name, I was like, I'm summertime bad. So they call me STB, you know, summertime bad. I call myself Summer from the Yo, Burberry bad. I mean, I got a lot of like, you know, alter egos to it. I am also the Rap-A-Lot princess. So
yeah, that's a dope.
That's my favorite name.
Yeah. So you know, like anything that you're doing that's a talent or a skill, you have to build confidence in it. So yeah. Would you say now you're at the point that you had the confidence, because like you could have somebody pushing you to do something, but you had to have that confidence. There's always a certain point where you get that confidence internally to be like, yeah, I really can do this. Like, you know, like it's just like playing sports. Like you could be playing basketball for 5 years, but until you had that one good game, you like, oh yeah, like I really can dominate out here. So what was that moment for you?
I think what sets me apart is I don't really have a team around me. I had to do it myself. It was like, you're funding this, you have to do this yourself. And if you don't make it, nobody cares. And if you do make it, nobody in your inner circle cares. So I had to push myself. I had to give myself that confidence. I had nobody around me pushing me like, you can do this. I swear I didn't. It was all me. I had to wake up every day and say, I'm summertime bad. Like I'm big bad. I had to think I was the hottest thing in the room. And that took a while, but I had to do it all myself. I never had anybody pushing me or telling me, oh, you're good. You know, you should do this. You need to pursue this. Nobody did that. It was all me. So like, I had to make a promise to myself, you're going to try as hard as you can. Like every time I get on a plane when I travel, I say in my head, I go, you're going to get rich or die trying, get rich or die, like over and over and over. I say that the whole flight because that's my idea. So when I land and I'm about to get on stage or do an interview or whatever I'm doing in my head, I'm getting rich or dying trying. This is now or never. I went all in on this. I have no choice but to go hard because I don't have anybody next to me saying, you got to go hard.
Right.
And I've tried and I've had bad experiences. Like I've had managers who I'm like at a video shoot that I pay a lot of money for, and I'm like, hype me up. And they don't say anything. They just stand there like this, like with their arms folded, like haters. Like I don't have anybody hyping me up but me. And it changed my whole demeanor that one day and I was like, all right, I can't really ask other people to hype me up. I just got to hype me up. Screw what they're doing. I don't care if they're giving like salty looks the whole time. I have to think I'm the best thing ever, you know? If you walk around like you're the best thing ever, eventually people are going to start to think you're the best thing ever. You have to manifest it. I really did manifest everything that's ever happened to me good in my life. I could have very easily, just like done what everybody else in Youngstown does. But I put myself out there. You know, I made a way when nobody gave me a way. I made a way for myself, and this is not unattainable. Anybody can do what I'm doing. I promise you that. Maybe not the same industry, but anybody can do anything they put their mind to, and people don't believe in themselves enough. And I believe in myself, and that's the only reason I've become successful. You have to believe in yourself.
Right. And like anything in life, like your circle, the people around you can make you or break you. So
yes,
like you gotta have, positive people around you, positive vibes, not nobody that's secretly envying you, even if you put them in a position to make money, people will still hate on you for no reason. So that circle is very, very important, because that keep your, you want to have positive people and keep your energy up high, because sometimes energy might be low some days, and just because the people you got around you, they get you back where you was on a normal day, so something you need those type of people around. So like,
but even if you don't have that, you can do it yourself. You can be your own positive example. A lot of people don't have any positive influences around them. So if you don't, screw it, be your own positive influences. Be your own hype man. That's how I feel.
Right. So are you signed to Rap a Lot right now, or is it just like something that you like, just a relationship right now?
It's just a relationship right now. I'm a prospect. So what that is they contact me. One of the CEOs contacts me like once every few weeks, updates on my career. I ask them questions. They give me answers if I have any questions about music industry stuff, or they'll tell me, hey, this is going on this weekend. Go here. Go network here. We have people here. Do this, do that. It's a numbers game. So they don't invest until the numbers are there, like high numbers. So that's really the only thing that we're waiting on, with Rap a Lot. But I've made it perfectly clear. And a lot of people have said, don't do this. They're like, I rap about them in my songs. I call myself the Rap a Lot Princess, which they're totally fine with. They're like, that's a lot of people have been like, don't you think that's putting you in a box? You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. But I know that I'm meant to be with them, and they have expressed to me, they know I'm meant to be with them, and I don't want to go anywhere else.
Okay. Yeah, I was just about to ask you that, like, would you sign to another major or stay independent if it made sense?
I would never stay independent, and I would do a joint deal. So they're like independent and they would take me to a major label and we would do a joint deal. But I will not stay independent because like I said, it's nice to have extra funding. It's nice to have a signing bonus, but also it's nice to have people backing you and know what they're doing, because I have no help. So it'd be nice to have the backing of a label that knows how to get you on radio, how to do this, how to do that, how to market you. So some people don't need that backing. I personally I like that.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that.
but I
So
found where I need to be.
okay. So how often do you record?
Anytime I write a song, I'll just book a studio session. I go to Nexus Studios. Shout out to AT at Nexus to record. Pittsburgh has ID Labs. We have Nexus in Youngstown. So I believe I'm going to get him some gold records from working with me. And I've let him know that. So anytime I come up with something to write, my deal right now is singles. I was going to do another EP, and then the people in the industry advised me to just do singles. I'm also doing a lot of features for people right now. So that's basically my main focus.
Okay. So when you first started dropping music, how was the buzz, around your city and surrounding areas, like, because, when you first start doing something, like you're anxious to see, especially in music, you're anxious to see people reactions, especially when you first starting out. So like, how was people reactions when you initially started dropping content?
It's so weird because people who knew of me, I tried to Hannah Montana it a little bit. Like I took my real name off my Instagram page and I just put Summertime Bad. So I thought that like people who I went to school with or people I knew around the city wouldn't realize it's me. And they realized right away it was me. I wasn't fooling anybody. I was so mad. I was trying to be like discreet and not let them know that it's me. And when I asked them what they thought, they're like, we're not surprised. That nobody that's ever met me around this area was not surprised. I said, that's crazy. How are you not surprised? I was never a rapper or a singer. They said, we just knew you just like, we could just tell that you were going to be famous. I was like, well, news to me. So good reception, but Youngstown didn't know me until I did a Youngstown show. I did one show in Youngstown and I met a rapper I actually was a really big fan of, Chris Lombardi.
Oh, okay.
I love him. He's great. He's from Youngstown. He claims Cleveland, but he's from Youngstown. Don't let him fool you. But he sat in my studio sessions and helped me out with ad-libs a couple times, and I did a feature for him. And I didn't want to do any shows in the city, and I did one, and I made a lot of connections. So really, people know who I am, but a lot more people know who I am in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Like, and the other cities I travel to. So I travel to Houston a lot. I travel to Miami. I travel to Atlanta twice this month. I travel to LA. Like, that's really how you get your name out there. You want people in various cities to know who you are. It's crazy when I check my stats on Apple and I see people in all these crazy cities listening to my music in other countries too. It's wild. So like, that's how you do it. Because if I just stayed here in Youngstown, it would just say Youngstown, Ohio, and that's who listens to my music. I have people from all over who know who I am, and I think it's just insane that somebody could do something like this in 6 months.
Right. Yeah, you definitely off to a great start to your career. So as far as like the music scene in your city or like close to your city, surrounding areas, do a lot of artists collab, or is it just like everybody doing their own thing?
I'm nice. I've tried to collab with some rappers and they like want to collab with me so bad, but they don't make the studio time. And I'm like, look, I'm this, and this busy. If you want me, you better get me now, because they're not even invested in their careers. It's a hobby. This is life or death for me. It's a hobby for them because some of them have kids and other things going on. So it's just like a fun hobby and they're not getting anywhere. But some of them that take it really seriously, oh my God, they're like, you want to get on this show with me? You want to open for me? You want to do this podcast? If I'm in town, I'll help them out, especially Chris Lombardi. But we're all, the ones that take it serious are really nice to each other. The ones that aren't are the ones who like they're stressed out because they got kids or they got jobs or they have other things going on and this is just a hobby for them. But the ones who take it serious, we know what's up and we help each other out.
Okay. So what artists have you worked with so far, and do you have any artists you plan on working with in the future, like in the near future?
Sure. I've worked with Monray the Mogul. I actually did a music video with Monray the Mogul and Fed the God 2 weeks ago in Pittsburgh. Fed the God is Taylor Gang's artist.
Okay.
It's Wiz's like, artist. So he's pretty popping right now. I just did a collab with Rich Soul in Atlanta. They're pretty big in Atlanta. Chris Lombardi, I did a collab with him. I did a Sneaky Link. I had a local artist on there. We had the same management at the time, so I had him on there. But every day, new people keep asking me to work with them. I have some heavy hitter industry friends, and I know when I go to their city, they're gonna have me on some stuff. And I can't say any names, but like big time people. And what's cool about me too, though, is I always tell them, like, look, if you don't have room for me in a song, you can put me in the video. And they love a good video girl. So they're like totally down. But a lot of my songs I've done like myself. I want to get Cash Doll. I talked to Cash Doll about a collab. We're in talks right now. My one song, they want Juicy J to get on it. I have a song that I recorded the first verse. They want Juicy to do the second. But other than that, like, it's been all me, because I want all eyes on me. I know they say you need someone co-signing you, but when I walk in the door and I say I'm with Rap A Lot, that's already enough co-sign for me. That's all I need. Like, like I want to shine. Like, I don't want anybody to outshine me. I know I'm going to get good features. I know I'm going to work with, crazy people, but they have to hear me first.
Yeah. You definitely have to I think a lot of people, I won't say make a mistake, but it's something that's kind of undervalued, like, especially when you first come out, like when you building your fan base, like, people need to hear, your story and hear you before, you start bringing other people into it. Cause I like, collabs, ain't nothing wrong with it, but it ain't nothing like, when you put out a project and it's all you, and then do the same thing as if you was to put Drake or somebody else on it, then that's how like, that's real authentic fans.
Yeah, and I actually was gonna have Young Blue. They were gonna put Young Blue on my song Private Jet, but it's so good the way it is. I don't want to cut the second verse. I'm sorry. That's my
Young
big
Blue will go
club
crazy.
hit right now. That's my big club hit right now. We could do a remix maybe down the line, but I didn't want for the original version. That was my bag.
Yeah. I like the Young Blue. Young Blue would go crazy on this one.
He would, but I would do it for a remix. The original one, I wanted it to come out exactly the way it came out. And,
Well, the other song that I played, he would sound good on that song, the one that you did with
Sneaky Link.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would. That was like the weirdest deal. I wrote that verse. I write everything. Like, I like to plan out my verses for my own songs, but when I do a feature, I'll write it on site. And I did it right there. And then they're like, we want to do a video for it. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't really think it was going to be that big, but like, people really like that one. Like, that wasn't the one I was going to push. It was really just like a tiny collab because we had the same manager at the time. I didn't think that one was it's always a song you don't expect.
Right.
It really is, because my big song right now that's even hotter than Private Jet is Big Bad. That's my newest song that came out 2 weeks ago, and it's going crazy. So I have so much other stuff written. I'm getting in the studio June 2nd, I think, to record some more stuff. But my favorite stuff's the stuff that I'm on alone. In my opinion, I like to hear Mac Miller always said, if you want to be an artist, you have to only listen to your stuff. Just listen to you.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope advice. So like, what are some things you like doing in your spare time, when you're not doing music?
I'm a dog mom. I have 2 3-year-old dogs, a Chihuahua and a Cockapoo, which is a Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix. And I like to read. I love to be outside. I have a property with a lot of land. So I like outdoor, like 4-wheelers and stuff like that. I love to lay at the pool. I love, fancy restaurants and stuff like that. Like things I could never dream of doing, like when I was younger, that I do now. that's like my favorite thing. And I'm also into like makeup and shop. Like I'm like a girly girl. Like that's why I'm the Rap a Lot princess. Like I'm not like my music can be hard, but I'm like a class act. So like I like to do classy things in my spare time.
Okay.
You know, like I'm like the ultimate girly girl. Like I'm not sporty. I'm not like I'm like the ultimate like girly girl. So that's the kind of stuff I like to do in my spare time is write music, you know, be with my dogs, makeup shop. I love meeting fans too. And I love like talking to people on Instagram. Like everyone's like, stop doing that. But like I will respond to everybody. Like even if I don't see you at first, like eventually, like if I'm laying in bed and I scroll through everything, like I'll get to you. Like I love talking to my fans. I'll mail them things. I'll sign autographs all day. Like this isn't about the money for me. I really enjoy like it's about the fame for me. Like I really enjoy like talking to people and like if they're the reason that like you have to be nice to your fans. Like I know some rappers who are like not too nice to their fans, but your fans are the reason why they work a 9 to 5 so you don't have to anymore. So you have to be nice to them. Like Post Malone just did SNL a few weeks ago and he stood outside for like 3 hours and greeted every fan and took pictures with them. Other artists, they'll sneak out the basement entrance where the parking lot is. They won't meet any fans. So like there's a difference between people who are in it just for the money, they collect the check and they leave. People who are in it for like the fame, I think they're the nicer ones because they want to meet fans and stuff. So like I'll take pictures all night long. I'll sign autographs till my hand hurts. You know, like I live for that. That's my favorite hobby.
So you know, that's something that you have to get used to though. So like when you first start doing this music thing, I'm curious to hear this answer. Like when you have the first, do you remember the first interaction you had, you know, when you start building fans, when somebody came to you in person was like, oh, I listen to your song and I like your song. I know that had to be the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it was insane. I was in Pittsburgh and I went into a store to get like my friend owns a CBD store and I went to have back pain sometimes. So I was getting like a roll on for my back pain. And the lady who was checking, I walk in and the lady who was bringing me out took one look me up and down and I had sunglasses on and she goes, and I said, hi, I said my real name. I said, hi, my name's Daphne. Like I'm in here to get some like roll on like stuff for my back pain. She goes, are you Summertime Bad? And I said, yes. She goes, oh my God, it's you. I thought it was you. I watch all your TikToks. My little sister showed me you. So I did it. She wanted me to sign an autograph for her little sister. It was wild. I never thought anybody would recognize me like that. And she said, she shook my hand and she said, and I quote, it's an honor to meet you. I went, me? Yes, I'm like the first man on the moon or something. It's an honor to meet me. Like, okay. So that was my first fan experience and it was like the best day of my life and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, that's dope. So like as far as your music career, what is your short and long term goals as far as your music career?
Short-term goals are to be signed by Rap a Lot in a joint deal with a major label. Long-term goals are to be so successful that I get to do things that money can't buy me. Like I want to get invited to the 2023 Met Gala. I want to be the musical guest on Saturday Night Live. I want to go to the Super Bowl. I don't need to sing at it, but I want to go because I'm Summertime Bad. You know, like I want other things. Like it's not just music. Like I want to do guest cameos on stuff. My biggest goal, like definitely down the line, I want to work on like a Mac Miller, like an autobiographical movie. Cause like I know him like the back of my hand. And so I think I would do really well. I know all the spots we could film at. Like I really someday want to like take that to the movie, you know, and get a major motion picture deal done for him. I think everybody would be interested in seeing his story. So that's definitely a goal I want to do to honor him someday.
Yeah, that's dope. You know, everybody deserves to have their story told. So
His
like,
is an insane story. It's an amazing story. He was just a normal kid from Pittsburgh. And
Right.
a lot of people didn't take him seriously because it's not like he was from the trap or anything. Like they didn't take him serious. So he built something out of nothing, and he had gained respect from so many different people from walks of life, different crowds. He has people who like country music. He has people who like rap. He has people who like pop, hipsters. He got all the people, like everybody's a Mac Miller fan. A lot of people can't say that. So like he has a great story that I think needs told, and I'd like to help tell it someday.
Right. So as far as 2022, what's some upcoming projects you got coming for 2022, and any upcoming features, if you can name some?
I have a Rich Soul feature I just did that's coming out. I think they're the new Migos. So just keep that in your brain. I think they're the new Migos. They rap and sing, great, amazing guys. They're from Tennessee, Nashville, like, or Tennessee area, but they live in Atlanta now. And I have some stuff with Monray the Mogul I'm doing. He's awesome. I have some singles that I've already written. I just need to record and want to put out. My music video for my song Problem, that's in the editing process right now. So that's the next thing that's coming out. So you guys can look for that on YouTube and my Instagram. Because the song's already out, but the music video just took a little while because I wanted to perfect it. So that's on its way out. I would like to, I just want to see where this takes me in 2022. I mean, the sky's the limit. I'm going into this saying yes to everything that comes my way that's a good deal or an appearance. So that's what I hope for in 2022.
All right. So one of my last questions. So how do you want people to perceive you?
What do you mean?
Like what do you want people to know you for?
I want people to think of me as like the Eve of Rough Riders, or like the Nicki Minaj of Young Money. Like she is like one of the homies. Like I love fitting in a room full of men and standing out. So that's what I want people to think of me as. Like I want them to look at me and see me on the same level as the male rappers.
Okay.
That's what I want. I want the same respect that the male rappers get. And so far, I've had nothing but that. So that's exactly what I want people to see me as. I want them to say, oh, she's the homie. She fits in a room full of male rappers, just like how Nicki did with Young Money and Eve did with Rough Riders.
Mm-hmm. So closing remarks, any last things you want to say to your fans, updates, and let people know how they can find you on social media, things like that.
Well, my fans are called baddies because I'm summertime bad. So shout out to my baddies. I know you guys will be watching this because I have some pretty loyal fans, honestly. And I talk to them all the time on social media. You can find me at summertime bad on Instagram. I have a Twitter, but I don't really use it. I'm not like hyped to it. But I'm very big on Instagram. My website is www.summertimebad330.com. Because 330 is Youngstown's area code. And you can look for my Problem video. It's going to be up shortly, and keep your eye out for me. You never know where you're going to see me. I was at Rick Ross's this past week. Mm-hmm. So, like I'm always out and about. And if you do see me, like I'm very friendly, come up to me. Let's take pictures. Like I'll sign autographs. Like, I love meeting the fans. So if you ever run into me, any of you, do not be shy.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. So I appreciate you coming on the podcast today. Anytime you got something going on as far as music career, or anytime you want to talk about some real life topics, I don't just do interviews. I talk about, child support, relationships, police brutality, fake friends, like any real life topics I know people might come across in their everyday life. You could hit me up anytime. It don't take me that long to strike up a podcast episode about it, and anything dealing with your music career.
I would love that. Anytime you want me on a hot podcast, like a hot topic podcast, I would love it. Because honestly, if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, I would do what you're doing. Because I love talking to celebrities. I love talking to people. I love bloggers, podcasters. So anytime you want my opinion on anything, I've experienced a lot of life in my 27 years. I'd love to comment anytime.
Right. And yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show. This concludes episode of the Eric J. the Great podcast. Everybody go stream Summertime Bad on all platforms. Follow her on Instagram, TikTok.
Yes.
All her
I'm on TikTok too. Yes, at Summertime Bad on TikTok.
Right. And follow her, go blow her up, listen to all her singles. She got good music, and be on the lookout for everything she has to come in the future. Real dope artist, step outside your comfort zone. You don't got to listen to people killing people, talking about killing people all day. You could listen to something positive sometimes,
Exactly right. And I had to come on the Eric J podcast because you approached me so cool, and I had to do it. I believe in what you're doing, and I'm very flattered that you wanted to have me on. So thank you so much. And thank you, baddies. I love everybody. I love you all. Thank you, Rap a Lot. Thank you, everybody who believes in me, because it does take a village. But if you don't have anybody who believes in you, as long as you believe in yourself, you can get far.
Right. And we end it like that. And this concludes today's episode. And you have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.